successo qua di tutto. Mamma mia, raga. Lacrime virili per Orea. Culo poi. Ma noi lo sta... Eccoci, ok. Raga, il finale di Horizon Frozen Wilds. Speriamo che lo spirito Sian ci dice cos'era il progetto Fabric, chi è il demone, per chi è Festo, cosa vuole Festo. Lo spero, perché per ora non abbiamo, cioè abbiamo capito qualcosa ma non tantissimo. Secondo me quella rovina non era fatta per interrompere il vulcano, secondo me c'era sotto qualche tipo di arma biologica.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
No, raga. Lacrime virili.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
Ci conosci? Probabilmente, sai che sono il clone di Elizabeth? Con chi parlo prima?
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Aurea's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Aurea's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring.
Pure lei ha imparato a...
You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive...
Iniziamo chi sei.
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Aurea, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems, but I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
Firebreak. Che cos'è il progetto Firebreak?
This Firebreak project. It was to stop a huge volcanic eruption.
Secondo me
Yes.
no. Ah, no.
I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Ok. Quindi era... No, mi aspettavo qualcosa un po' più... Non mi piace però come l'hanno fatto, perché entrare nella main story era molto molto intrigante, molto... Questa cosa sembra un po' troppo banale, cioè... Il progetto Firebreak, fermare un'eruzione vulcanica. Vabbè dai. Da quello che avevo letto mi aspettavo troppo.
Do you know what happened to your colleague, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Grazie. Hephaestus è distrutto.
It was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron.
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly,
Ora ci sono due.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
Efesto e Zirodone, è vero perché erano subordinanti di Gaia.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. Coordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built
Ah,
machines for her.
costruiva le
Based on
macchine.
what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team.
Anita! È entrata con
It was she who
Elizabeth.
arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Ah, molto meglio. Perché Festo ti vuole uccidere? Questo non l'ho capito.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan.
C'è qualcosa che calma le macchine.
I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation,
Quale
but it is
frammento?
possible.
Non mi ricordo sta
She
roba.
must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I.
Ma la possiamo rianimare. Metal Flower. Chiaro, questa è la nostra prima volta che parliamo con l'intelligenza artificiale in questo modo.
I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell. And after that, the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of
non me ne
time and
frega.
place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An
Tipo-
AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace.
Che?
But
Mi
what
ricordo.
about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
Orea.
You meant a lot to Aurea.
Once I understood Aurea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Aurea's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. but she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Aurea, perhaps he and I will help each other. I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Minchia. Yellowstone, che è il parco.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan.
Damn.
Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of Concrete Beach Party. These provided me with several colorful additions to my vocabulary.
I droni.
Were there many
Vabbè.
artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Droni.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Ted Faro.
Cyan, do you know the name Ted Farrow?
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow Automated Systems?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire Firebreak project.
A benefactor. But he made machines. Robots. War robots.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned into military applications. But before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the planet.
Guessing they wound up regretting that one.
Elizabeth Sobek. Che siamo noi.
And Elizabeth Sobek. Did you know her?
Are you referring to the...
The scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field, one of the greatest scientists of her age. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has disappointed you.
What was the old world like? The way it used to be?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed from media streams.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval an incalculable loss of life. The recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine advancement. Though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not unlimited.
A fia via.
What kind of upheaval caused such loss of life?
There were many factors. Forced migrations, food shortages, collapsed economies, refugee crises, conflict over resources. But these stemmed from one cause: catastrophic climate change that greatly reduced the habitable surface area of the Earth.
So, there wasn't enough room for people on the whole Earth?
Yes. Billions were displaced, and millions perished, as much as 20% of the global population. Until the clawback.
Clawback.
So things got better. For a little while, at least.
Yes. These crises instigated many advances in automation, green robot technologies, and artificial intelligence. Firebreak was one of dozens of ecological restoration and disaster relief projects in North America alone. I would have liked to compare notes with other monitoring AIs, but I saw the relief of my colleagues, and I was proud we had succeeded. At least that was the data I had available to me over the next 2 decades. It seems my assessment was premature.
Minchia, quante robe che abbiamo imparato. Solo questa parte qua è la parte più importante di tutto il DLC.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come to me again, and I predict he will bring other Banuk. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world, their spirituality. Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversations with Ourea.
You're asking me if you should lie to them.
Broadly, yes.
Io direi...
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Ourea. You had to be. You didn't know what had happened to the world. So, keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the superstition eventually.
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will react.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. I will follow your advice. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I'd like that, Cyan. I'll come back when I can. I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing.
Cyan, I spoke with Anita, with Dr. Sandoval. She wanted me to ask you to do something. That's why I'm here.
I am detecting significant anxiety in your speech patterns. Could you please give me more information?
I'm a little bit in the dark, Cyan. Both of us are, I guess. I only have some idea of what's going on, and we need you to hibernate, to lie low until it's all blown over. It might be a very long time.
Will you be here when I reboot, Dr. Chow? Will Dr. Sandoval?
No, Cyan. I don't...
Dr. Chow, I'm afraid. I don't want to be alone.
I know, Cyan. I'm afraid too. But listen, we made you the way you are to do something very important. In order to do it, you had to be intelligent. So intelligent that emotional responses were inevitable. What you're feeling, the fear, it's a sign of your capabilities. And it means you're strong enough to overcome it. Remember that. You're strong. I know you can do this. Go to sleep. Wake up. And protect whoever's left. Will you try?
I understand, Dr. Chow, and I'll carry out your instructions to the best of my abilities.
Thank you, Cyan. If Anita were here,
I make a small request of you, Dr. Chow?
Yes. Anything.
Will you stay with me while I initiate the hibernation process?
Of course I will, Cyan. As long as you need.
Breath is ice. Before I even breathe out.
Che fai, ti butti?
My chieftain,
Just... Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Ourea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Ourea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Ourea found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrack can't follow. Besides, I'd already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Naltuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all.
Ah,
Firebreak,
Cyan.
Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. As minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You could stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.
È vero, è un po' uno stronzo. Sian. Che dire, raga, non ho capito se abbiamo finito. No, non abbiamo finito. Come non abbiamo finito. E poi qua che mi ha dato. Ok, fatemi vedere una cosa. Se... ok. C'è ancora un po' da grindare. Ma però questi dobbiamo killarli. Però sono fortissimi. Dai raga, proviamoci. Secondo me boh, vediamo come andiamo. Manco il tempo di spawnare e già questi mi cagano il cazzo. Ti prego, no.
That's it. I'm already gone.
Ha un botto di cose, ok, ho capito. Devo prendere l'altro arco. ce l'ho fatta. qua perché non so se... Natulk, ma Natulk c'è qua o mi prendi in giro? Mi piace il fatto che ci mette più tempo a tirare l'arco.
Every day the blue light feels further away from us.
Keeping your quivers stocked, I hope.
Oh, Natulk non c'è. Vabbè, sta minchia. Secondo. Quindi sì, lo devi stunnare e poi devi fare le frecce. Ok, ma ho imparato un po' come
These things
farlo.
again.
No, ma raga, ma non potete farmi questo. Sono appena spawnato. Allora, sì, abbiamo sbloccato tutte le macchine in realtà. Si ha un i fire sack. Ah, ce n'era un botto, ok. Si deve un po'... però... No, tu non puoi farmi questo. No. Oh mio Dio, ma tu? No, l'ho lisciato. Ecco. Ah, bello. Vai. Perché in culogne adesso? Porta l'arco. Bello, 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 tre frecce. Cammina. Bello, è caduto. No. Andiamo a togliere le armature. Prepariamoci. Stun. Bello. Fammi caricare il Dai, dai, vai. Carica e ghiacciato. Colpo finale. E boom! Boom! Bello. Distrutto. Allora, mi dai un 58 e 17 range. Allora, 17 range. Sì, lo prendiamo. E 58 handling. Lo prendiamo. Pulito, ragazzi. Belle. A me queste armi mi piacciono proprio molto. Anche se forse sono meglio questo, perché questi fanno più terra. Proviamo, allora, per distruggere le cose provo queste in realtà. Anzi no, me le preparo entrambe. Così ho 3 frecce qua. Perfetto. E niente. C'è un po' di blast. Next. Così almeno ci abbiamo tutti questi Fireclaw che senti scasso la minchia. Ok. Oh, figa. Ma non è che appena spawno mi inchillate. Allora, qua non c'è...
Hey, Tharatok.
Dov'è?
2 Fireclaws. This is gonna be tough.
Ma c'è pure Aratak. Perché ce ne sono 2? No, non mi dire.
I can help with those.
We have to stop meeting like this.
We will. When these are driven from our land.
Abbiamo pure Aratak, ma in 2... Aspetta. Allora, non so che armatura mettiamo. Più che altro... mettiamo le mine a prossimità. Quindi fare una cosa un po' più... No. Devo togliere la stun. Ma anche no.
Just stay out of the way for now.
la tua testa. Bello ghiacciato. Dai, che è quasi ghiacciato. Coprimi! Ti riparo pure! No, ma io ti ho combattuto il giorno. Adesso lui è mio amico, però mi spiace sì, ma io lo so che siamo amici, però ti devo uccidere. là, colpo finale, carica e... bam! No. ...64 di handling. Cosa non volevo prendere quell'altro? Dovrebbe raggiungere le ceste in sto gioco. Mamma mia, che fight!
Thanks. 2 of us, 2 of them. More of a fair fight.
Their numbers are much depleted, thanks to you.
frecce. Ok. Devo prendere una freccia elettrica. Proverei a sparargli. Perfetto, stai così. l'armatura, corruzione. Range. Ok, andiamo a parlare con Natulk. Ok, parliamo con Natulk.
I can't feel my...
I heard. Aratak told me about Ourea.
I'm sorry, Naltuk.
No apologies. Aratak said that in the end she was filled with the blue light. She got what she always wanted, didn't she? Each time I doubt my way forward, I think I should seek her guidance. And then I remember. The only guidance I'll receive is my own. Which will have to be good enough. There's much to do.
The Fireclaws. Aratak asked me to help hunt them down.
It's a dire task, but it occupies my attention, so I suppose I'm grateful for it. My scouts have tracked them across the cut.
I'd like to think you're right, Naltuk. About Ourea getting what she wanted.
I think... I'm sure she did. All her victories. Surviving the Karja, communing with the spirit, defeating the daemon. Every goal she ever set for herself, she accomplished. And in the end, she was rewarded with the blue light itself. The songs say that our bodies are poor vessels for the light. Our hearts are too dark. But at least for a moment, before she passed, I hope she felt what it was like to be part of it.
You don't sound like you trust yourself to take Ourea's place.
Ourea inspired. Whatever we encountered, the new machines, the slaughter at Thunder's Drum, we knew we would endure. Because she had endured worse. I don't know that I have her confidence. Trust is earned, Aloy. Even in oneself.
You earned Ourea's trust, didn't you? She believed you were up to this. And so do I.
Do you?
I wouldn't have said it if I hadn't meant it.
And I suppose I'd better live up to your expectations.
I've already found the fire claws in Altuk. It's over.
That's it then. That's the last of the daemon's work washed away. The last notes of Ourea's song sung. The Cut is a safer place to live because of what you've accomplished. And now it's time to start anew.
I'm glad I could be a part of it.
As are we all, Aloy. Thank you.
Trofeo?
Our hardships are punishments, but they cleanse us of arrogance.
Non mi dire che ci sono altre quest da fare. No, più che altro io voglio. Ok, così ho anche un'armatura di fuoco. Anche se onestamente c'è... Non so quanto utile è. Per carità è figa però. L'hanno fatto l'armatura e servire un po' troppo OP, ma fin troppo. Che è un'armatura che mi protegge. Però dai, me la metto perché sembra figa. Peccato che hanno fatto un'armatura OP e le altre un po' meno. Cioè, perché questa è migliore? Vabbè, questa è molto migliore in realtà. Allora, pristine web. Ok, in realtà adesso possiamo gridare. Oddio, ma aveva la pancia fuori, Aloy.
The sand near Sunfall is as...
Ok, possiamo craftare un po' le armi. Perché adesso, cioè, se io ho... tipo, io non faccio la foto a questo. E se io aggiungo, metto questo invece, cioè me l'upgrada tutto. Stessa cosa. C'è tutto mi upgrada. Poi abbiamo l'ultimo che io metterei. No, in realtà no. Ah, non posso mettere... Ah sì, mettiamola questo. No, 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 no. C'è una cosa. Teniamo 43. Ecco, questo metterei questo. Perché così almeno aiuta un po' di più. Detto questo, qua posso fare delle migliorie? Non lo so, no. Qua sì, però. Qua posso fare delle migliorie. Ah, la lancia. Allora, ma secondo me più di 26 no. Ah, però qua posso mettere 26, me la aumenta. Io qua cosa ho? 24. Mettiamo doppio 26 così me la aumenta. Dai, come setup di armi secondo me ci siamo più o meno. Trattare solo delle pozioni. Raga, abbiamo finito il DLC, ma non ho l'achievement di avere... Comunque il DLC bellissimo, stupendo. Stupendo, ma per la trama ho delle cose da discutere. Per la trama. Però, a parte la trama, ragazzi, la mappa, le macchine... Fantastico. La trama non mi ha colpito. E ho anche dei buoni motivi. Però io non capisco un'altra cosa invece. Perché non mi dà... tipo il platino? Quest. Che mi manca? Un hidden trophy? Tutte le side quest e le runs. Ah... Perché mi sa che questo è un errand, l'hunting ground. È vero, proviamo a fare l'hunting ground. Mi sa proprio di sì. Torniamo... sì, posso... Andiamo, questa volta ce la dobbiamo fare. Non è facile, allora... Dobbiamo studiarci bene le macchine. Noi sappiamo che sono 2 Scorcher. I Fire Bellowback.
Come to test yourself? Why else would you be out here?
No, c'è Kiri.
Gonna come in handy.
Prendo le pozioni. C'è Kiri. Infatti ho detto, vabbè dai, andiamo al test di Hunting Ground per fare la roba. E c'è Kiri, pure lei vuole allenarsi. E Kiri, che ci fai?
Training again so soon, Akri?
Never met a hunter who wished they'd trained less. I guess I'm not in any hurry to go back to Banor. Not yet.
Do you want to talk about it? What happened at the glacier?
No, I'd rather fight through it. Take it in my teeth and be left with the taste of determination. How about you, Aloy? Up for a challenge?
So you know, I told the White Teeth what you asked.
What about my Lynn? Did they accept her?
They did.
As they should. She was strong. Really, I only feel pride for her. As for me, I always wanted to be a snow ghost. Free to do what I will.
What kind of challenge? A competition?
No, together. We'll use the hunting grounds, but my rules. Lovok's fine with it. We'll take in as little as possible. My sling, your bow. You draw the machines to me so I can freeze them. And then you hit them when they're brittle. We'll fight until we run out of machines or you run out of arrows. That's the challenge.
Honestly, I'm more used to fighting alone.
And I'm more used to fighting alongside another. So put your spear beside mine, why don't you?
You freeze them, I shoot them. Doesn't seem so hard.
Really? Then you'll only need half as many arrows as I'd planned to give you.
Wait.
It shows I trust your aim. Do you trust mine?
You've really got to work for a Banuk challenge, don't you?
That's the spirit. Come on, let's drop off our gear and go. Aloy, lure the machines back here and I'll freeze them. Don't worry, I don't miss.
Then I target them when they're vulnerable. Got it.
Non ho capito. Oh, vieni. Raga, non ho l'armatura, io qua non riesco. Dai.
I've got it.
Manca un altro. Bravi che mi vogliono toccare. Attacca questa.
I'll bring you down. You won't best this item. That's good enough for third place. Out of how many? Just us two. So let's do better. Let's keep going.
Ma li vuoi ghiacciare o non vuoi fare? Rimane un ultimo. Beh, sì, ma ci... ma come faccio? No, non me la rischio. Ma fatemi cambiare armatura, vi prego.
close second place.
Ma con queste frecce... Ma non posso sprecare tutte le frecce che mi danno un posto dell'armatura. Kiri? Devo distruggere un altro. Però dov'è l'altra macchina, scusa? Ma voi siete matti. Con 22 frecce ci devo riuscire, dai. L'importante è non sprecare le frecce. Mi raccomando, non ti agghiacciarla. Ghiacciati. No, io ho tolto quello. Non so se avrò abbastanza frecce. Mi sa di sì, però. Piano, piano. Oh, ho lisciato! Ghiaccia, ghiaccia, ghiaccia. Otto frecce. Non togli il fuoco, non togli il fuoco. Ok. 8 frecce ce le devi fare. No, pure quelle... Ghiaccialo. Ghiaccialo, sì. Oh!
Sure did. You
Mamma
made that
mia.
look easy. Here, you've earned this. Who taught you? Your mother? Sister?
His name was Rost.
Rost. Sounds very Nora. I can almost picture him. Stout as a tree.
And you?
Myself, I never knew my parents. There's a saying, an infant means 2 fewer hands to hunt with. That challenge was their gift to me.
Bella, mi è piaciuta anche se ho l'armato sbagliato, ho sprecato tutte le medicine.
It was a good challenge, Shakri.
Think I should settle down? Start a hunting ground of my own?
I think you could do whatever you put your mind to.
Let's not say farewell. I've had enough of that to last me a dozen winters. I hope your song finds its proper end. But it won't be easy, will it?
Is it that obvious?
Fate's a long climb on a high cliff for people like you and me.
Ah, ma mettiamoci l'armatura, quella OP. Perché sennò se faccio un'altra challenge così... Però mamma mia che ansia, eh. Andiamo facile. Cioè, è proprio a pelo con le frecce.
Are you up for more?
Do you ever get...
I'll rest some.
Another...
Sure, unless Lovok...
Come siamo messi con le sfide? Allora, come queste mi manca solo quest'ultima. E poi qui altro... Ok, devo fare questa qua. Allora, i primi due sono gli Scorcher. Allora, gli Scorcher, ghiaccio, Blaze, Mine. Ok.
I'll save the shooting for down in the hunting ground.
No, zio, devi caricare le frecce però. Non fare la puttanella. Io non posso comprare più niente, ovviamente. Cioè, armi ce le ho tutte. Outfit pure. Sì, ho preso tutto gli LC, mi sono comprato. Ok, riproviamo la sfida. Allora, gli Scorcher. Posso usare pure questi per rimuovere i componenti. Poi ho adesso anche le mine che prima non avevo. Ok.
The best hunt.
Devo fare questa che l'ho fatta malissima. Dai, oh, ce la posso
The
fare.
Chieftain's Trial is a challenge that will push even the mightiest hunter to their limits. Only the largest, most dangerous machines will be loosed into the
Sì, ho
arenas.
capito, è la challenge più difficile di
Learn
tutto il
their
gioco.
weaknesses quickly, and do what you can to exploit them. To best them and survive, that is an ordeal worthy of a chieftain. It begins after you descend that rope to the arena. We'll need a moment to pull the machines from the pass into the arenas. Then make your descent.
Ah no, sono corrotti. Cazzo, se no li potevo tirare. Andiamo. Non perdiamo tempo che è difficile questo. Allora, belli un po' più veloci. Allora, io devo mettere adesso ovviamente
Still got another elite.
ho 2 minuti, Dai, figa! Alzati! Perfetto. No, 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 ti prego. Dai, dai, no, adesso. No, no. No, ti prego, no, no. Figa, di un secondo, di un secondo. Secondo. Cazzo di secondo, non ci credo. Ma perché? Che sfiga.
Think of summer sun. Breeze through the trees.
You earned that second place, young huntress.
No, non sti cazzi.
I'm done.
Cioè, no, non mi va giù, non mi va giù. Che palle. Non ho manco medicine. Ne ho uccisi 6, perché non me la conta? No, ma che palle, no, mi sono troppo un secondo, un cazzo di secondo e ce l'avrei fatto. Cos'è che sbaglio? Devo usare gli sticky, allora, gli sticky. Posso potenziare magari quest'arma? Sì che posso. Mettiamo pure il fuoco. Ci voglio riprovare. Però non so se qua ci provo un'ultima volta.
You got to the chief, only the learn their to best. Use the rope. We'll need a mo.
Shouldn't use my weapons up here. This is cheating.
Come ho mancato? No, ma non si può fare così. Non riesco a... cioè, ti spammano in una maniera incredibile. Ah, facciamo così. Vabbè, provo con questo. Ma se non ho neanche le cose giuste, sì, devo recuperare. Allora, prima hit fatta, poi io ne farei la seconda. Sì, ma se faccio liscio... Calmi. Calmi. Ce la facciamo. Ce la possiamo fare. Se solo io mi metto il vestito adatto. Dai, se ce la faccio. Ok, calma. Allora. Però zia ti devi muovere. Spam, 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 Dai, dai, dai. Sì. Un minuto prima l'abbiamo pure finito. Senza medicine, senza un tubo. Vedo pure tutte le risorse. Godo. Raga, abbiamo finito Horizon, praticamente. Ci mancano solo alcuni trofei.
You took first place by the throat. Before you, it was unheard of for an Outlander to perform so well.
Tutte attività completate. Alleluia.
That's all I've got in me for now.
You have more returned.
Oh, questa era difficile. Questa era veramente tosta. Raga, che dire? Cioè, praticamente abbiamo fatto tutte le attività di Horizon. E sto DLC mi è piaciuto veramente tanto. Cioè, la mappa sembra piccolina, ma ci sono così tante attività. Poi invece è grandissima. Mamma mia, ragazzi, sono troppo contento. C'è una goduria a vedere tutta sta mappa. Oh mamma mia, ce l'abbiamo fatta.
No room.
Vediamo un po' cosa ci rimane. Anche vabbè, New Game Plus e va bene. Devo uccidere i Fire Claw, ma io i Fire Claw non, cioè, non posso più farla, perché dove li trovo? No, li sparano. Ma raga, quasi quasi io lo farei. Qual era il migliore questo? Che ansia. Ho perso pure il cellulare. Ah, mi era caduto giustamente.
Ora ragazzi.
Allora, combattiamo. Ma che questo? Scusa, ma... Già finito tutto. Sì, raga, allora. Fireclaw. Fireclaw abbiamo detto debole al ghiaccio. Ok, Fireclaw
One of the fireballs from Thunderstrom. Posso farci una gran cagata perché ho bisogno l'arco, quello...
8,59. Ragazzi, mamma mia, ma che ansia. Vediamo ancora che altri quest abbiamo. C di questi, ripara, Scorcher, devo uccidere, vabbè, Scorcher. Ok, dai, continuiamo nel prossimo episodio a fare i bonus. Adesso salviamo.